Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's up with it? Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Mr. Lychwick, would you like to give an opening statement at this time?
Yes, I would.
All right, you may proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, quite simply, I am not guilty of this crime. I feel sorry for my poor neighbor, but I did not know him well enough to have any animus against him even, and I have never killed anyone in my life. The largest warm-blooded animal that I've ever killed was a skunk that walked in front of my car by accident years ago. I am not a killer. The police in this matter have a largely circumstantial case. I don't know how exactly they circumvene on me, but I simply did not do this. I am unprepared for this trial. I am in poor health. I was in poor health and doctoring at the time that they arrested me, and they knew that. The police have made gross exaggerations in their reports, and I do not recognize that firearm. This is the first time I am seeing a picture of the firearm used in this murder, and I do not recognize it. That was not in the trunk of my car when they stopped me. They did not have a warrant when they stopped me.
Objection. The objection is overruled at this time. The warrant was discussed in the state's opening. Mr. Lychwick, though, I will remind you that you're venturing a little into argumentative territory, so I want you to just focus on what you believe the evidence will show, and you can infer arguments in your closing arguments, okay?
All right.
Go ahead.
I caught some gross exaggerations immediately with the prosecution's opening statement here. They're telling you that Detective Stern had presented me with a copy of the search warrant, which he did when they went and destroyed my apartment. And in the search warrant, Mr. Carlos's name was on the search warrant. And I knew everyone in our building there, down at the bottom of the hill here, knew that Mr. Carlos was being looked for, that he was missing. Detective Pavlik of the Waukesha Police Department took an initial statement from me the night that they were examining the crime scene when I was returning from a social engagement. I gave my statement to him, and he asked me if I had seen Mr. Carlos around anywhere recently, and I told him, of course, that I had not. This is a gross exaggeration. I don't know how the detective can wear his badge with honor and blow something like this out of proportion and use the.
You guys may see the screen go out for just a second. I am about to, I'm doing something. I'm going to show you guys. I got it. But let me show some love to the chat. Mel says, hi, I can't believe this is how this man is getting up here doing his opening statement. Why did he do that to his neighbor? Mia Doolin. Hello, Mia Doolin. Mike from the Ville says, if you're viewing, all we ask is you simply double tap your screen and show appreciation to the stream. Thank you. Come again.
This as an excuse to center on me in the.
First of all, is this guy in his right mind even representing himself in this case? What made him think he could take up his own counsel?
This affair.
Rewind a little bit. I'm gonna be quiet, guys. You got it.
They're telling you that
the screen may go out for a half second. Just give me a second.
When they went and destroyed my apartment, and in the search warrant, Mr. Carlos's name was on the search warrant, and I knew everyone in our building there, down at the bottom of the hill here, knew that Mr. Carlos was being looked for, that he was missing. Detective Pavlik of the Waukesha Police Department took an initial statement from me the night that they were examining the crime scene. When I was returning from a social engagement, I gave my statement to him, and he asked me if I had seen Mr. Carlos around anywhere recently, and I told him, of course, that I had not. This is a gross exaggeration. I don't know how the detective can wear his badge with honor and blow something like this out of proportion and use this as an excuse to center on me in this affair. I was never walking around in the area where the poor man was found. I was never in that area. And yet the state is telling you that I was walking in the area where the poor man was found. I was not. I was never in that area. Quite the contrary. The man who discovered the body and was an initial suspect of this crime, Mr. Polly, who is now missing.
Objection, relevance.
Mr. Lychwick, I'm going to sustain that objection. I'm not sure how the testimony is going to come out regarding that, but I think that's something that's outside the...
Perfect. The numbers are down. That's the perfect time to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the other stream and funnel it over. Hold on, guys.
Scope of this.
Hold on. So that means I get to run this back a little bit since they left. Good. Perfect time. Let me do this now. Let me do it right now while the numbers low. Numbers low. Perfect time for skirt. Hold on. Let me do it one more time. I might as well do it all now. Hold on. Do it all now. Yep. Hold on. I know y'all. Hold on, guys. Yep. Unprofessional. Yes. The best way to do it. Let's go. Boom. Boom. There we go. We got the view back. All right. Everybody go ahead. Be upset. I understand. I know. I'm doing this the wrong way. So what, mother suckers?
Thank you very much. May it please the court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is why we're all gathered here today in this courtroom. For Carlos, to figure out what happened to Carlos, because the evidence is going to show that on April 14th, 2024, this defendant, Kevin Lychwick, murdered him. He shot him twice, once in the torso and once in the center of Carlos's face. This is a picture of Carlos. This was a much better day for him than April 14th, 2024. And I think it's important before we talk about the facts of this case to give you a little bit of information about who Carlos was as an individual in life before we reverse Carlos, because the evidence is going in.
Hey, all right, let's go.
May it please the court,
now
ladies and gentlemen of the
lit.
jury. This is why we're all gathered here today in this courtroom. For Carlos, to figure out what happened to Carlos, because the evidence is going to show that on April 14th, 2024, this defendant, Kevin Lychwick, murdered him. He shot him twice, once in the torso and once in the center of Carlos's face. This is a picture of Carlos. This was a much better day for him than April 14th, 2024. And I think it's important before we talk about the facts of this case to give you a little bit of information about who Carlos was as an individual in life before we talk about what tragically happened to him. Carlos lived in an apartment at 1512 East North Street here in Waukesha. It's actually just a stone's throw away from this courthouse. It's just down the hill. Some of you may have even driven past this apartment complex when you came to court a little bit earlier this morning. Carlos was just 55 years old on the day that he was murdered. He had goals in life. He was planning to start his own business, and he was very, very close with his daughter, Talisa. In fact, him and Talisa enjoyed going to different restaurants together. They enjoyed going to different Mexican restaurants. They enjoyed trying chips and salsa from every single Mexican restaurant that they went to, and that's how they would determine whether a restaurant was a good one or not. The relationship between Carlos and his daughter had never been better at the time of this incident, before he was tragically taken in this case. April 14th, 2024 is the day that the evidence in this case is going to show when this homicide took place. What you're going to hear is that on that particular morning, the evidence will show that Carlos got up that morning and went to a hardware store where he made a purchase. We know this because there was surveillance footage that captured him at this particular hardware store. We also know from his bank statements that he made a purchase on April 14th.
I got a green screen blowout in the back.
We also know that
care.
after he finished his transaction at the hardware store, he returned to his apartment. And we know this because there was an apartment manager. Her name is Glenda Rose, and you're going to hear from her very early on in this case. She'll be one of our first witnesses. She actually witnessed Carlos in the garage area of the apartment complex cutting wood, and she actually greeted him. So we know that he made it back from the hardware store to the apartment complex where he lived. Unfortunately, after Glenda saw Carlos in the garage area, Carlos was never seen alive again. And despite many family members, including Talisa, his daughter, trying to figure out where he was, nobody heard from him. Talisa actually reported him missing, okay, because it was out of character for Carlos to actually not contact his daughter. This was something that whenever Talisa called Carlos, at this point, Carlos was always very prompt in terms of getting back to her. So the fact that she had attempted to call her father and he hadn't gotten back to her, that was very suspicious. So there was a period of time in which several months, nobody knew where Carlos was, nobody had heard from him. We were trying to find him. And October 30th, 2024 is when we made a very startling discovery. What happened on that day, and what the evidence will show, is that there was a gentleman named Nathan Poley. Mr. Poley is a resident at 1512 East North Street, the same apartment complex that both Carlos and Mr. Lychwick lived at the time of this murder. And Mr. Poley was also a maintenance worker at that particular complex as well. And so what Mr. Poley was doing on this particular day was he was doing some yard work in the wooded area behind this particular apartment complex. So to give you a little bit of a sense of what this complex is like, this is a two-level complex. There's units on the ground floor, and then there's a second level, and then there's additional apartment units on the second level, and then bordered to the back of that complex is a giant hill with some woods in the back area. So Mr. Poley was in this wooded area. He was doing some yard work, and he came across this blue tarp that you see depicted in this photo. And at first, Mr. Poley didn't think anything of this blue tarp. He thought it was just something that somebody had thrown away. But as he got a little bit closer to it, he made a shocking discovery. Underneath the tarp was Carlos's remains. And the tarp was covered, you're going to hear, in sticks, branches, and other foliage, almost as if the person who had set it there did so intentionally in order to hide what was under that blue tarp. The police get called. Because Mr. Poley reports what he found to the apartment manager, and the police are called, and the police respond to the scene, and ultimately Carlos is determined to be the individual whose remains were found under that tarp because dental records were able to positively identify him as such. His autopsy was performed on November 1st. There's going to be a medical examiner that's going to testify in this case for you as well. The medical examiner is going to tell you that she found trauma associated with Carlos, that she found a firearm projectile that was located attached to Carlos's scalp. There were entrance and exit wounds, and that there was a second projectile that was found under Carlos's torso area as well, and that he had an injury to his lower vertebrae that was consistent with a gunshot wound as well.
Dang.
Given the length of time that Carlos was missing from April to October, his body was in a very severely decomposed state. And unfortunately, we'll have to show you some pictures of that, but that's what happened in this case as well. So now we have this homicide. We have this body in the woods, and the Waukesha police are now involved, and they're investigating this. And they're at a disadvantage, is what you're going to hear, because of the length of time between when Carlos disappears and when he's ultimately discovered. So the police are really behind the eight ball here. They have to hustle to really uncover evidence and follow leads and make sure that they're identifying the person who's responsible for this. They start to investigate. They interview several people at the apartment complex. They canvass the area. And to be frank with you, for a while there, it wasn't looking very good. They were having some difficulty figuring out who did this, what were the circumstances surrounding this. They knew it was a homicide, but they didn't know who actually was responsible for this. And then what you're going to hear is they caught a huge break. And the break came in the form of a gentleman named Anthony Lefebvre. And for the court reporter, that's spelled Lefebvre. R-E. Anthony, you're going to hear, was a resident at this particular apartment complex as well. And Anthony had a trail camera. And Anthony had been given permission by the apartment complex to build a garden in the wooded hill area behind the complex. And in order to keep tabs on this garden that he was building and to show the progress with family members, Anthony also set up a trail camera with the apartment complex's permission. And the footage on the camera dated all the way back to April 29th, 2024. So just a couple of weeks after Carlos went missing, and the evidence will show he was murdered on that particular day. The police came out and they saw the trail camera. And then they said, hey, we'd like to take a look at that footage just to see if there's anybody on that camera. And Anthony was very cooperative. He gave the police the footage, as you're going to hear, and the investigators reviewed it. And what they found on that trail camera was the defendant, Mr. Lychwick, walking around the area where Carlos's remains were found at very odd hours of the night. They saw the defendant carrying a white trash bag. They saw him suspiciously looking in windows of the apartment complex as if he was looking to see if somebody was watching what he was doing.
That's not right. I did
He was seen in one clip, and you're going to see this as well as part of the state's presentation of evidence. He was wearing boots. At one point, he was kicking an item off his boots after he was seen walking in the area where Carlos's body was ultimately discovered. And he also was carrying some sort of tool. We don't exactly know what tool it was because of the quality of the video footage, but he's definitely carrying a tool as well. So the police now start to look into Mr. Lychwick because, you know, this is suspicious, right? And we're trying to see if this is the individual who's responsible for murdering Carlos. And once they start to look into Mr. Lychwick, they make many shocking and incriminating discoveries based on the evidence. So what Detective Stern and I did last week in preparation for this case is we sat down and we highlighted together, we came up with a list of what we think are going to be the most compelling pieces of evidence that you're going to hear. It's not all the evidence that you're going to hear in this case, but this is what we believe are the most compelling pieces of evidence that you're going to hear that point towards Mr. Lychwick's guilt in this case. First piece of evidence that the police found in this case was a note. The police went and got a warrant. They got a search warrant to search Mr. Lychwick's apartment to either confirm or dispel their suspicions that he may have been involved in this homicide. What they found, and you'll hear more about this during the state's presentation of testimony, was several documents that were handwritten with several quote-unquote operations listed on them. One of these pieces of paper, and you see it depicted here on this photo as well, contained information about an operation named Operation Slop Shop. You'll see it at the top of this exhibit as well. Specifically, as it relates to Operation Slop Shop, the piece of paper that was found in the defendant's apartment, where, by the way, he lives alone, he does not have a roommate, specifically names Carlos as a, quote, threat. There was an additional piece of paper as well describing another operation. This particular piece of paper indicated that Operation Slop Shop had been completed and that the threats from that first stop had been, quote, neutralized.
That's crazy, bro. What's up?
There were additional pieces of paper as well found in in the defendant, Mr. Lychwick's apartment as well. There were several other operations listed with many other individuals. The important piece is that those individuals you're going to hear had connections to Mr. Lychwick. So if the idea is that he didn't write the note, well, you're going to hear that several of the individuals listed on these notes, again, were connected to him. And then when the police were serving the warrant on Mr. Lychwick at Mr. Lychwick's apartment as well, you don't always get Perry Mason moments, you know, in the middle of trial. But this case, we actually have one of them. Because when the police were serving the warrant, Mr. Lychwick was given a copy of the search warrant for his particular apartment, a courtesy copy, if you will. What we do in Waukesha County is we try not to include victims' names in court documents because they have a right to privacy. We want to make sure that we're not unknowingly exposing their name or their information to the public for their own protection. So the search warrant that was given to Mr. Lychwick only said victim A. That's all it said, victim A.
God damn.
Yet, you're going to hear that when Mr. Lychwick was given a copy of that warrant and he looked at it, he exclaimed, quote, Carlos Maldonado? I had nothing to do with that.
Man, get to the goddamn point.
At that point, we had not made public the fact that Mr. Maldonado's body was the individual that we had located on the grounds of 1512 East North Street. The evidence is going to show that only the killer would have known that Mr. Maldonado was the individual who was on that grounds when Mr. Lychwick made that statement.
Oh.
Another compelling piece of information that we found in this case was a storage unit. Now, during this investigation, the police looked into a bunch of different things as it relates to the defendant. We looked at his purchase history. We looked at how he was spending his money to see if there was anything that was suspicious as well from an investigative standpoint. Mr. Lychwick was on a pretty tight budget. This is what we found from looking at his banking records. He was living on SSI. Yet, the evidence is going to show that on November 1st, 2024, just 3 days after we discovered Carlos's remains at the apartment complex. Remember, he was found on October 30th. So just 3 days later, what we found is that the defendant drove all the way up to the Fox Cities area. He drove to the Kimberly area, and he took advantage of a 1-month free promotion to rent a storage unit in Kimberly, Wisconsin. We know that on November 1st, from what we found in his phone, that he was spending hours searching for storage units here in Waukesha County. We know, as I stated, he was on a tight budget. He was budgeting about $50 for gas. This trip, round trip, to go from Kimberly back to Waukesha County would have greatly blown through his gas budget. Yet, okay, we know that he went all the way to Kimberly, and you're going to hear from the representatives from the U-Haul as well, and he rented that storage unit. Okay. But he didn't rent it for very long, because 1 month later, after the free month had expired, and you're going to hear evidence to this effect as well, the defendant is seen on surveillance footage going back to the U-Haul storage facility and closing out that U-Haul unit that he had rented. Again, you're going to hear from an employee who helped him with that process. You're going to hear that the defendant was in a rush. He wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, and he cleared out the entirety of that storage unit as well. And then he made his way back to Waukesha County. What he didn't know at that time was that the police had obtained a GPS warrant for his car. So when he left Waukesha County and traveled to the Fox Cities, the police were following him.
Hey, y'all, run the lights up, run the lights up,
and
please.
so what they ultimately did was they effectuated a stop, and then they seized the vehicle that he was driving as well, from Allegheny County all the way back to Waukesha County. And then they found the holy grail of evidence. The evidence is going to show in the defendant's vehicle.
Gio, what up with it? What up with it? Yeah, we only here for a short time. We on the other channel, Gio. I need you to subscribe to the other channel, man. RUMORNATI Live. RUMORNATI Live.
They found in the trunk of his vehicle, after they went and got a search warrant, by the way. So they seized the vehicle, but the police then went and got a search warrant. They searched the trunk of his vehicle, and they found, and you see it depicted here at the bottom of this picture as well, a 1939 Luger firearm. And the police did 2 things with this particular firearm. They're going to be very, very important in this case. The first thing they did is they packaged up this firearm, and then they mailed it to the state crime lab, in Milwaukee. And there's an individual who works at the crime lab by the name of Jessica Crawford. She's a firearms and markings expert, is her title. And so what she did, and you're going to hear from her as well throughout this case about her process as well, you're going to hear that Ms. Crawford tested this firearm and found, despite it being a very old firearm, that it was fully functional. It was working just fine. It was capable of recycling rounds through and firing bullets. But the other thing, and this is perhaps even more important than the fact that the Luger was fully functional, Ms. Crawford took 2 projectiles that we recovered from Carlos. The one that came out of his head from the autopsy, and then the one that was found under him in the tarp where his body was discovered at the apartment complex. She had both of those projectiles. And then she had, in addition, her own library of ammunition that she had in the lab as well. So she test fired the rounds that she had from her library of ammunition, and then she compared those rounds with the 2 projectiles that we know went through Carlos.
We're going to do the full stream on the second channel. We're only here for a few minutes, man. We're only here for a few minutes. Make sure you subscribe to RUMORNATI Live. RUMORNATI Live. Let's go.
And what she found and what she's going to testify to is that both projectiles bear markings that are similar. And when a gun is recycled through a firearm, through the barrel of a firearm, it leaves certain markings so that you know that it came from that particular firearm. Never has it happened in the history of firearms that a bullet has bared the same markings, and she will tell you this, that came from 2 separate guns. So the bullets that we pulled out of Carlos came from the weapon that we found in the defendant's trunk of his car. But we're not done, because not only did the police send the gun for testing, they also swabbed the gun for DNA. And they sent the DNA swabs that they tested, and they also had Mr. Lychwick's DNA as well. That was obtained pursuant to a buccal swab as well. They sent that to the lab as well. And what they found, there was a DNA expert that actually tested this as well. And each person has their own DNA profile, right?
What's up, Miss Duval? What's up, Gio? What's up, Mike from the Ville? We going live on the other channel. We are live on the second channel. We just here getting started. We going live on that second channel, guys.
The only exception to that is if you have an identical twin, which is not true in this case. Mr. Lychwick's DNA profile was found on that murder weapon that was in his truck, or it was in his vehicle, excuse me. And what you're going to hear is that it was a single source DNA profile, not a mixture where multiple people are contributing to this profile, but a single source DNA profile. And that the lab's conclusion was that there was very strong potential for inclusion, that Mr. Lychwick's DNA was the profile that was found on that murder weapon. That is the highest support, that you will have the highest probability of standard that the lab has in terms of DNA. And the DNA expert will explain more to you this as well. We also, as part of this investigation, obtained Mr. Lychwick's phone. We wanted to see what he was searching on his phone. People search for all kinds of things on their phones, right? And we found some very incriminating searches on his phone as well. First and foremost, a brief just housekeeping matter regarding the email address. Conrad Lychwick, you're going to hear testimony in this case that although the defendant's legal name is Kevin, he prefers to be called Conrad. In fact, you're going to hear that he would correct people when they would call him Kevin rather than Conrad. So not only do we know that this is his phone, because we wrote a warrant and were able to look at what he was searching, we also know that that's his email address. And so that was associated with his phone as well. And what we found when we looked at his phone was some very suspicious findings. 1 week, just 1 week after Carlos was never seen again, was never heard from, we have the defendant searching carcass movement, processing and disposal. How can I dispose of spoiled food safely? Large plastic bags and where to find them. Maps of landfill in Wisconsin. This is very suspicious, and from the state's perspective, we believe the evidence will show that this is because he was making certain measures to see how he could dispose of Carlos's body after he had killed him. And there were additional search.
Mills, the people I'm calling out is on the other channel. I'm trying to get them to come over to the Rumonati Live. Come to the Rumonati Live because the stream's going to end over there soon.
Things on his phone that were incriminating as well. November 25th, 2024. He went to Google. His phone went to Google and searched Waukesha News for November shooting. There had been no shootings in Waukesha County at that time, and we hadn't made public the fact that Carlos's death was by virtue of a shooting as well. Once again, much like the comment that he made during the execution of the search warrant at his house, only the killer would know this sort of information. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 counts, as Judge Moss just explained to you. There's first-degree intentional homicide, and then there's the second count of hiding a corpse. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on this as well. You'll get the full jury instructions at the conclusion of the case at the evidence.
Get over to the other channel, guys. We about to end this stream. Get over to the other channel, Rumonati Live. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I just wanted to define a couple of these terms for you as you listen to the evidence. So the term cause, the first word in that, means that the defendant's conduct was a substantial factor in causing Carlos's death. Well, the evidence is going to prove to you that he shot him twice. Shooting somebody twice, once in the face area, pretty obvious, right? That's going to cause somebody to die as a result of that. And then intent to kill, again, you have the mental purpose to take the life of another human being, or you're practically certain that your conduct is going to cause the death of another human being. Again, I've already touched on this. We have the notes from the apartment talking about operations and neutralizing specific targets. I didn't use the word motive, and Judge Moss already explained this to you. I'm not going to repeat that. Motive is different from intent.
Where do y'all see? The dude is defending himself. Kevin Lychwick is defending himself, and he's effing crazy. Where do y'all see that? But we're going to watch his opening statement, but we're going to watch it on the other channel. I need you guys to get over to the other channel and subscribe to Rumonati Live, because at the end of this opening, we're going over there exclusively, guys.
Intent. We have to prove intent to you, but we don't have to prove motive. Now, that stated more simply, we don't have to prove why he did it, but we have to prove that he did it and he acted with intent. And you'll get a jury instruction on that as well. And then we have the second count of hiding a corpse. You see the elements up there as well. You're going to hear from Detective Stern in this case. I've already touched on this about the location of the pile that had Carlos's remains in it. You're going to hear that it was Detective Stern's conclusion that that pile was deliberately set there. We will show you a number of pictures. You'll be able to see that there were twigs and other things and branches and things over top of this pile, almost as if the individual who put it there did not want this pile to be found. And again, we'll show you evidence on that as well. And again, the fact of the trail cameras that I've touched on earlier as well, the fact that the defendant was seen walking around in this area at very odd times of night, okay, when there was nobody out, again, evidence of that as well. So that's the second count. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to conclude with this. You're going to hear from a number of witnesses. You're going to hear from police officers. You're going to hear from specialists. You're going to hear from eyewitnesses. You're going to hear from people who worked on this case. We have a DNA expert. We have a firearms expert. We have a medical examiner, a cadaver dog expert, a botany expert, and even a forensic anthropologist. So this is going to be a lot of experts that's going to come in and testify. The evidence is going to show that this investigation was not a rush to judgment. This was not a giant conspiracy. This is not an attempt by the Waukesha Police Department to railroad Mr. Lychwick. The police put a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Nigga, that word is Waukesha. You can say Waukesha. That's Waukesha, nigga. Waukesha. Waukesha. That's Waukesha.
Was ultimately the conclusion that they had by following the evidence that Mr. Lychwick was the individual who was responsible for murdering Carlos in this case. It's the conclusion that is only supported by the evidence that we're going to present to you. And as we were sitting down and thinking about what is the most,
So his name is Lychwick, even though it's spelled Lychwick? I don't know nothing. All right, cool.
Proper,
that's
or
his
perhaps
name,
the best
nigga.
framework to present this, we came up with the idea of a puzzle. When you sit down to do a puzzle and you put the first couple of pieces in this particular puzzle, you may not be able to see, the full picture of the puzzle. But as you add pieces to it, and in this case, the pieces would be the evidence that we're going to present to you, and you hear more and more about the evidence that we have and how we present it in, then you start to see the bigger picture emerges. The puzzle starts to come in full focus. And that's what this case is. So Googling, for example, how to dispose of food safely, spoiled food safely, may seem pretty innocuous. But when you consider all of the other evidence that we're going to present, what it is it shows, it's just one more piece of the puzzle, showing that Mr. Lychwick is the individual who's responsible for the murder in this case. And I'll leave you with this. When you've heard all this evidence, and we've had an opportunity to address you in closing, we're going to come before you and ask you to find Mr. Lychwick guilty of both of these serious counts in this case. I want you to keep in mind all the evidence that we're going to present to you. Because for all this evidence that we're going to show you, and I haven't shown you everything, right? We've just shown you some of the most compelling pieces of evidence. For all this pieces of evidence to be true, and for Mr. Lychwick not to be the individual responsible for murdering Carlos, he has to be the unluckiest man in the world. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Cooked his bitch ass. Now we about to get to the opening statements of the crazy man, but we're going to end the stream here. Gio says, am I on the right one? I'm going to give you, hold on. Damn, I wish I could put links on vertical streams. All you got to do is type in RUMORNATI live. And you should see it. Similar logo with the live in the middle of it. I think I'm going to change that second channel colors to red too, to just make it a little bit more distinguishable. Keep going, Mills. Mills says, I'm number one. No one's going to stop me. I have the most points. Mills, you better keep going. Mike is only 25 points behind you. You better keep going. Come on, guys. Let's get over to RUMORNATI Live. RUMORNATI Live. Let's get over to RUMORNATI Live. We're going to continue to stream over there, y'all. Remember, it ain't about the numbers. It's about the energy, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get over there, y'all. I'm shutting this one down in like a minute or less. Let's go, guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Mills, you better type one letter at a time. You better start saying stuff like, good point. Indeed. Yes, for sure. Nope. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Mills, you better start typing some kind of shit. Oh, it's tied up. Mills, no. Gio, what up with it? All right, I see you guys over there on RUMORNATI Network. If you're live on the RUMORNATI Network, I'm going to say hi and bye. We are over on RUMORNATI Live. RUMORNATI Live. See it right? It's going across the bottom of the screen. RUMORNATI live for the rest of the stream. That's where we're going, guys. We're going to go ahead and shut it down now. I appreciate y'all. If you're in the Discord, you can find the link to it in the Discord. If not, we'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Sorry. Super salute to y'all, but we out. You know? Get over there to RUMORNATI live, guys. 20 seconds. Ten seconds. We ending the stream over here. Get over there to RUMORNATI live. RUMORNATI live. You can still come up on Discord and everything. Get over there to RUMORNATI live, guys. We're ending the stream now. We're continuing on RUMORNATI live. We're out of here, guys. Peace. I don't know who just came in, but we out. Yeah, we were just trying to funnel some of the numbers. All right, now let's get to it. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, please. Mel says, me. Oh, Mel's Mike on some bullshit. Look. Mike on some bullshit. Gio, what's up with it, man? Say, watch party tonight. Indeed, brother. You already know what time it is, man. We locked in. I'm full internet, man. I'm the parasocial parasite today, nigga. I'm eating off the end. I'm the parasocial parasite. Nigga, I'm trying to eat every motherfucking piece of the internet. Man, I'm eating off all the pieces of the internet. Chewing up all the bandwidth. We all over this motherfucker. Damn, I'm trying to help. Let me see if I can help Mills out. Hey, Mike from the Ville, I need you to look something up for me. Mills, that's it. Mills, you better type one letter at a time and send that motherfucker. Mills, I ain't gonna lie. You better spam, Mills. You better spam. It's allowed, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, pause, bro. Pause. My bad, bro. Yeah, pause, bro. Pause, bro. That nigga say you don't get headaches. Hell yeah. Not today, though. I feel great. But no, especially like them 10-hour streams, like 10 in a row, hours in a row, and we in the court all fucking day. Yeah. But no, other than that, I'll be good, man. I'll be good. Look at this nigga, Mike. Hey, Mills, never mind, Mills. It's over, cuz.
Opening statement at this time.
Yes, I would.
Hey, watch, bro. Listen to bro, though. This nigga's crazy. He's representing himself, bro. Hold on, let me give y'all a quick rundown. Let me give you a quick rundown of, let's go ahead and read the. Kevin Lychwick presented his opening statements to Waukesha County on Monday, June 8th. He's accused of killing his neighbor, Carlos Maldonado, in 2024. Bruh did it, allegedly.
All right, you may proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, quite simply, I am not guilty of this crime. I feel sorry for my poor neighbor, but I did not know him well enough to have any animus against him even, and I have never killed anyone in my life. The largest warm-blooded animal that I've ever killed was a skunk that walked in front of my car by accident years ago. I am not a killer. The police in this matter have a largely circumstantial case. I don't know how exactly they circumvene on me, but I simply did not do this. I am unprepared for this trial. I am in poor health. I was in poor health and doctoring at the time that they arrested me, and they knew that. The police have made gross exaggerations in their reports, and I do not recognize that firearm. This is the first time I am seeing a picture of the firearm used in this murder, and I do not recognize it. That was not in the trunk of my car when they stopped me. They did not have a warrant when they stopped me.
Objection.
The objection is overruled at this time. The warrant was discussed in the state's opening. Mr. Lychwick, though, I will remind you that you're venturing a little into argumentative territory. So I want you to just focus on what you believe the evidence will show, and you can infer arguments in your closing arguments, okay?
All right?
Go ahead.
Bro, immediately coming in with attitude.
I caught some gross exaggerations immediately with the prosecution's opening statement here. They're telling you that Detective Stern had presented me with a copy of the search warrant, which he did when they went and destroyed my apartment. And in the search warrant, Mr. Carlos's name was on the search warrant. And I knew everyone in our building there, down at the bottom of the hill here, knew that Mr. Carlos was being looked for, that he was missing. Detective Pavlik of the Waukesha Police Department took an initial statement from me the night that they were examining the crime scene when I was returning from the social engagement. I gave my statement to him, and he asked me if I had seen Mr. Carlos around anywhere recently, and I told him, of course, that I had not. This is a gross exaggeration. I don't know how the detective can wear his badge with honor and blow something like this out of proportion and use this as an excuse to center on me in this affair.
Damn.
I was never walking around in the area where the poor man was found. I was never in that area. And yet the state is telling you that I was walking in the area where the poor man was found. I was not. I was never in that area. Quite the contrary. The man who discovered the body and was an initial suspect of this crime, Mr. Polly, who is now missing.
Objection, relevance.
Mr. Lychwick, I'm going to sustain that objection. I'm not sure how the testimony is going to come out regarding that, but I think that's something that's outside the scope of this trial. So I want you to focus on the evidence that will be shown.
Is it? God damn, the nigga that found the body went missing? Is that outside the scope?
In this trial. You may proceed.
I would like to say that Mr. Polly was the one who was...
Objection.
I don't know what his next statement's going to be. What were you going to say, Mr. Lychwick? You want to say that Mr. Polly is...
Mr. Polly, a very suspicious character in this building to begin with, was seen quite frequently in the area where the poor man was found, where the remains were found.
I object.
Of this poor man.
Hang on one moment. Attorney Tombasco, are you objecting to that statement?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because it's contrary to this court's pretrial rulings regarding Denny evidence.
Mr. Lychwick, I'm sustaining that objection. At this point, I want you to focus on the state's opening, your opening, the evidence that you believe will be presented, and I'm reminding you of the scope of some of my pretrial rulings about what can come in and what cannot come in into evidence. You may proceed.
The defense, in my defense here, you know, the prosecution is maintaining that
Miss Do fall.
Mr. Lefebvre's camera
Oh, y'all like my song?
captured me walking around in the area that I lived in. I had reasons for being out the few times that I went out at night. As anybody, I'm living in a wilderness area. We're not allowed pets in my buildings. I put food out for the rabbits. I carry a rake to clean up the area to the tree where I leave the lettuce rinds that I give the rabbits. I also curious as to where the local possums that are supposed to hang out in our pine trees live. And I was accused by the prosecution here of carrying a firearm when I was out. As you'll see in the videos that Mr. Flauber took with his trail camera, that is not a firearm. It has been recognized as not a firearm. If the state maintains that it is, I will object to that because it is a flashlight in an old camera case on my belt. I did not walk around with a pistol. I did have a pistol in one of the bags that they found during their illegal car stop, and it was...
Objection.
The objection?
Objection.
Again, he's violating the court's pretrial ruling.
Okay.
Damn, niggas ain't fucking with my singing. That's all good, bro. That's all good, bro.
Lychwick, there were...
I tried.
motions heard before the trial about legality and illegality of any searches. The court has made a ruling that the searches in this case were valid and they were constitutional. So I'm not going to permit arguments that the searches were not legal. You may continue.
Well, the police did not have a search warrant at the time that they took my car.
Objection.
Again, that, Mr. Lychwick, is something that would be ruled on pretrial. It's not a trial issue for this jury to determine whether or not there was a warrant present. You may continue.
Should have got a lawyer, brother.
I'm up against a lot here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Hold on. I'm up against him.
I'm up against a lot here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I am a God-fearing man. I'm telling you, I did not know the poor victim. I did not even know him to where if I saw him in a store or he saw me, we would have said anything to one another. It is a 16-unit apartment building. We have multiple people living in each unit, and I have my lady friend, and I spend a lot of time away from my 16-unit building, doing my own business, minding my own business. We all are good people in that building. We mind our own business. As I told the Channel 4 reporter who interviewed me shortly after Mr. Carlos was found, and this whole thing blew over. And as I told Channel 4, Leslie Clough of Channel 4, who interviewed me, this whole thing was bizarre. Right around Halloween, they find the poor man, and nobody heard anything or saw anything. It was just bizarre. And as I told Ms. Clough, we're all good people in the building. We mind our own business. We're on different schedules. Again, as far as me and the victim go, I really never saw him that much. The closest look I've ever had of him was at the picture they just showed on the screen this morning. There was another misstatement made by the prosecution, and the prosecution is maintaining that
What?
that I wrote some that they had evidence of the victim's name in my apartment written on a piece of paper. That is totally false. I had nothing at all with the victim's name on it. I did not know the victim that well. I'm sure he was a very nice man and everything, but I would have liked to have known him probably, but I simply did not. We were all on, I say again, different schedules, moving around on different time frames and timelines. I am acting as my own defense because...
Objection.
Mr. Lychwick, I don't know the jury needs to know the reasons for that. It is your decision to make. You have exercised your right to represent yourself. The court has granted that request, and that's the end of it. The reasons for that or behind that is not anything the jury needs to consider.
It was an excruciating decision, Your Honor.
Mr. Lychwick, that's not anything the jury needs to consider in trying this case. That's not for the jury to consider in their deliberations, okay? So move on, please.
Well, I enter these proceedings under protest as well, because I am not an attorney, and I have no access to my assets right now, and I had no access to telephone or computer.
Judge, I'm objecting to this. I don't see the possible relevance to the evidence.
The objection is sustained. This is all not relevant, Mr. Lychwick. You are in court now representing yourself. You are held to the standards of an attorney. And you, if you have anything else regarding what you anticipate the evidence to show in this case that's relevant, you may present that.
This nigga fucking up. This man is...
I have developed evidence through the discovery process in this case that strongly will prove that the Waukesha Police Department, namely 5 to 7 of these officers and detectives involved in this case, have compile this evidence on their own. They have falsely introduced this evidence against me. It is not just. It is not legal what they are doing.
It ain't.
I came across hard evidence of their abilities and their intents and their lack of ethics when I received discovery evidence in the form of Axon body cameras from the night that they took my car on 1st December 2024. I found that there were sections missing from the body camera footage, including audio sections that were reworked and redubbed. I have not been able to get the state public defender to provide for the minimal cost to analyze the footage and the audio section of the footage to prove my point and to prove tampering and tainted evidence in this case, which should have resulted in this case being thrown out at least 8 months ago. It should not have come this far. But I have not been able to get my only source of defense, which was the State Public Defender's Office, who I took at face value, owing to their title, to provide me with the minimal, I say again, the minimal amount of cost to develop the evidence, which is a very cost effective and relatively easy method that it.
Bruh, shut your dumb ass up, nigga. You are fried. This nigga is fucked, bro. It's over for this. Oh my God. If you're innocent, you still fried. You did the dumbest shit. Bro, this nigga's flumbling and stumbling and bumbling over words and mumbling and looking down and reading off paper. And what I'm trying to say is, the nigga's in a wheelchair. He can't stand. He claiming bad health, bro. It's what is he gonna do? Try to push for a mistrial and do this shit all over again? I don't know, nigga. You fried, brother.
Amateur could process this evidence and show from the body camera footage and pulling it apart on a video editor, which is present on any computer. The fact that the Waukesha Police Department had doctored this film footage and doctored the audio portion of the film footage. What they cut out was the fact that they bumbled the car stop. It was completely contrived. As soon as I was pulling into the gas station from Appleton, Wisconsin, where they followed me apparently, they stopped me at the driveway of the gas station, and Officer C.D. Baca exiting his police cruiser along with Officer Tyndall trip over each other and start laughing. One says, "Stopped going 35 and a 25," and they start laughing. And the other one says, "Stopped going 35 and a 25." And they cut that out. And then I was offered a ride home when Detective Stern over here offered me a ride home, because he said he was going to seize my car and have a warrant typed up at the police station so they could search the car. And I accepted the ride home down the hill from the Quick Trip gas station here on Pewaukee Road because it was quite cold and I wasn't feeling well. And Officer C.D. Baca of the Waukesha Police Department offered to take me home. And I tried making some small talk with him in the police cruiser. I just asked him if he'd catch any of the football games on recently or anything. And then when he let me out of the police cruiser and
this man Gio said his mind on Waukesha. That's our brother. Something. I'm sitting here knowing I don't need you. Got my mind on Waukesha. Well, let me put my heart in this cup. His heart in the cup, dog. What's going on with bro? Man, get to the point. You represent yourself. You decide to represent yourself. You decide to be your own counsel, bro. And you do it like this? This was your plan, nigga? Oh, boy, you about to fry. Boy, I'm about to go get the grease. I'm about to get 3 different kinds of grease for this nigga. It's over for you. What's the highest heat burning grease they got, bro? We need the highest temperature, highest smoke temp grease they got.
in my driveway,
this nigga is
dark and foreboding at that hour, being winter going towards 6:30 in the evening. Officer C.D. Baca did proceed to threaten me. He stated that I had better back them up on the fact that they're stopping me for speeding, going 35 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone, which, by the way, does not exist on Pewaukee Road in the area where they stopped me. And I looked at he was standing in the shadows with another officer behind him.
Y'all seen them set of hands? Paul, this nigga so boring, somebody finna kick back. Either that, bruh, the prosecutor must have been prosecution. Y'all seen them hands go up? Somebody was finna kick back and do like this and put their hands up and kick back and relax, bruh. Watch. Look at the bottom of the screen. Watch some hands finna go up while he talking to the, oh yeah, this shit is in the bag. Look at this shit.
Which, by the way, does not exist on Pewaukee Road in the area where they stopped me.
Nigga finna go to sleep. Look at them hands. Motherfucker finna go like this here, watch. And then he gonna catch himself like, oh, I'm too relaxed. Watch.
By the way, does not exist on Pewaukee Road in the area where they stopped me. And I looked at he was standing in the shadows with another officer behind him who also pulled up in a police cruiser in my driveway.
Motherfucker was about to take a nap on his ass. Bro, they was about to take a nap on him, bro, man. Come on, bro. They know this case is won. It's in the bag. This only gonna take as long as the proceedings take. We done won already, bro. This shit, man, cakewalk. Savage Gliz, what up with it? Mike from the Ville said, he said, oh shit, I'm in court. Right. That's definitely that rest mode. Gio Roman said he put them hands down quick. Bro, it's finna take a nap. Roman said, get the pots, rumor, and the jumper cables. Man, listen, this is already, I'm about to get the pots and the jumper cables for opening statement. This man it's opening statement and cuz is about to fry already, bro. This was day one of this case. This was day one. He came out the gate like this. Swinging all wrong. Missing every swing. What's up with it, Mills? What's up with it, Miss Do? Bro. Damn, that shit dry. I'm gonna get it.
And they were holding on to their pistols. They had their hands on their pistols in a threatening manner. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And I looked at them, which you'll still see on body camera footage if they put it, that my reaction to C.D. Baca's threats are, yeah, all right, God. And I just wanted to get out of there and get into my apartment at that point. That they left into the body camera footage. They have me saying, sure, the words coming out of my mouth were not those that I actually stated that night. Which is tampering with the evidence, which is fraud. I was made to say, as you'll see on their version of the body camera footage, oh, definitely, I agree with you. You know, have a good night and all this kind of stuff. That was not in the original Axon body camera footage filmed that night by the two police officers. That is tampering with evidence. I have tried to bring that before the court. I wanted to. I have the chain of custody of that evidence here, which shows considerable attention to Officer C.D. Baca's Axion body camera footage and Officer Tyndall's body camera footage. I can show that according to the jargon used with digital technology now, they call the data acquired by the filming and the audio portion of any body camera footage. And indeed, many of the footage that we ourselves are prone to photographing when we use our cell phones and everything is called checksum data. And in the evidence that I have in my disposal, which was presented to me on discovery by the prosecution and the police, I'm assuming they didn't think that me and my defense would come across this, but I did, and it clearly shows that they have changed this checksum data at least twice on C.D. Baca's body camera footage.
This shit is taking a long time, bro. It's only, his opening statement was only like, it's 22 minutes. It's fucking what? Actually, it's 3 minutes left. Because it's at 18:48, 22:47, 18. So, okay, we got what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes left? We got 4 minutes left. My bad. Shit. Facts. This is a motherfucking lone wolf. G.O. guy done ran. This guy got no family and no friends. Savage Glizzy say, nah, he done ran them off. He definitely did. Probably with this boring conversation. God damn. I'm about to skip some.
Again, I strongly urge the jury to consider the tampering of evidence in this case. This case should have been dismissed at least 8 months ago when I discovered this evidence, which was given to me late by my first state public defender attorney, who was grossly inadequate and not providing me the correct defense that I needed, and I was forced to
Oh,
terminate
shit.
him,
Ah.
as my public defender. I emphatically deny any involvement in this crime. I am a law-abiding citizen.
My question, my bad, that's some, I should put the video up now, but then the screen will be white for a long time. Never mind. My bad. A video I was editing just finished exporting.
I am a good Christian.
Shout out Mike from the Ville, man.
I am a responsible citizen. I am an ex-police officer myself. I served as a security police officer in the United States Air Force.
Damn.
If this trial proceeds in a manner which should deny me the justice that, in large part, I am really not qualified to oversee, as I am not a trained attorney, this will be a travesty of justice.
So why in the fuck did you not take a public defender?
I ask you to please consider the fact that
Hey, said, what's up with it, bro?
a serious wrong is being perpetrated here. It will serve nobody if the state and the police, the several police officers, of the many good police officers in the Waukesha Police Department, have their way here. For one thing, the victim and his family will not receive justice. And they should definitely receive justice. The killer or killers, in my personal opinion, I think more than one person was involved in this homicide.
Objection.
Mr. Lychwick, consistent with the court's pretrial rulings on Denny evidence, the court will sustain that objection. It's also, well, the court will sustain the objection. Anything else, Mr. Lychwick?
Well, yes, Your Honor. Is that Denny evidence?
Yes.
God damn, you still talking? It's a slow walk down for nothing. You are cooked, nigga.
And I must ask you to consider the fact that a person is considered innocent until proven guilty in this country. And I certainly am not guilty of this crime. And if the travesty of justice is allowed to take place at the culmination of this trial, the perpetrators of this crime will be allowed to roam free and perhaps kill again. You should consider that. The police should be put on the track of whoever did this to this man again, because while
Do y'all hear it? Bro, this a movie. This is
of this trial, the perpetrators of this crime will be allowed to roam free and perhaps kill again. You should consider that. The police should be put on the track of whoever did this to this man again, because while I'm in custody here, the state is under the false impression that they have their man, if you will, and they're not looking for the killer anymore. That is a serious miscarriage of justice in itself. That is a serious safety issue for public at large. I ask you to please weigh that in here as well. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to do your best, and I thank you for coming today and doing your duty as a citizen. I would have done the same thing.
It sounded like he cooked on it. That nigga is fried, bro. This man is fried. Stir fried. Super cooked. Idiot. Hold on. Let's run through some more real quick. Let's go to this one. How long is this? 25 minutes. We don't have to watch the whole one or this one either. Let's just show. And then I'm going to show you. He had an outburst too. Did y'all see the outburst from him? I'm going to show y'all, bro.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court?
Name, spelling.
And is that an apartment building or a condo?
The two side stairways,
Okay, and is there a parking structure at all on the property?
underground parking, yes,
Does each resident have access to that underground parking structure?
yes,
Is each resident assigned or given a parking stall?
yes,
In that garage, the underground garage, are there also any storage units associated with each apartment unit's parking stall?
yes.
Hold on. Sister, don't know how much I miss you. I let you go. Whoa. Sister, looking at it look like sister. I'm tripping. I got my own mind looking at sister looking at. She sound like Cigarette though. Her ass like, no, it was two. They got underground parking. They can park underground. Yeah, every resident has access to park underground. Like, God damn.
Can you describe for me what those look like?
It's a storage bin above where the people park their cars.
And
It's a storage bin above where
is it created out of wooden slats or
Yes.
something else?
Yes, I should have
slat. You don't throw up? Slat.
said that.
No, that's okay. You can't be expected to read my mind. Now,
I could read your mind, babe.
on-site manager position with the apartment building, or is that something you have kind of taken upon yourself over the years to assist with?
That's me.
And how long have you been in that managerial role?
10 years.
How long you been smoking cigarettes? 50 years. How old are you? 42.
Are you familiar with what those documents show?
Yes,
Is it fair to say that you did not take these photos or create that floor diagram?
correct.
But is it a fair and accurate depiction of where the building is located and what the property looks like?
Yes,
I would move exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 19 into evidence and ask to publish
Damn, with the rest of them, she skipped all count. My bad.
to the jury.
First, as to admission of the exhibits, Mr. Lychwick, do you have any objection to those coming into evidence?
No.
All right, those exhibits are received. And Mr. Lychwick, do you have any objection to those exhibits being used with the jury?
No.
All right, the state may use the exhibits with the jury.
I was also informed that Mr. Lychwick isn't doing no cross-examinations of no witness, bro. Any witness that the state brings, he ain't crossing none of them. He don't have one question for one person, bro. What the hell is going on?
At 1512 East North?
correct.
And at the intersection here at Moreland and North?
Yes,
Yes, indeed, for sure.
Then in Lychwick?
yes.
Did you know?
In the laundry room,
So I'll rephrase that. How well, if at all, did you know Mr. Maldonado over the time that he lived there?
in passing in the halls, in the laundry room, saying hello and stuff like that.
Okay. And do you know a resident of 1512 East North by the name of Kevin Lychwick?
Yes,
Did you know him by any other first name?
Conrad. Oh,
Well-
sorry.
No, that's okay. Exhibit 2 then. Can you describe for me what you see here?
Conrad.
The layout of the apartments.
Okay. And so Carlos, lived in between both Mr. Lychwick and you. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Now, when you are looking outside your windows, what part of the property do you see?
The back hill.
Yes.
Looking then at exhibit number 19, do you recognize this picture then?
It's the back hill.
Okay. And if we're looking where my cursor is, it looks like a little hand right now, if you can see that. Did you and Mr. Maldonado and Mr. Lychwick live on the first or second floor of this apartment building?
Second floor.
So if you are watching the cursor go back and forth on Exhibit 19, is that where your apartments would be in relation to this back hill?
Yes.
Now, I had just asked you if you knew an individual or a resident named Kevin Lychwick, and he also went by a different first name. Which name did you call him?
Conrad.
Is there a particular reason why you called him Conrad versus Kevin?
He has to be called Conrad.
Was there ever a time when you called Mr. Lychwick by Kevin and he demanded that you call him by Conrad?
Yes.
Can you describe for me the tone in which he wanted you, or told you he wanted you to call him that name?
It was just very abrupt and said, call me Conrad.
I know you talked about how you were more of acquaintances with Mr. Maldonado and you saw each other in passing and you would say hi. Did you have any kind of relationship with Mr. Lychwick?
No.
Did you ever say hi to him in the hallways?
I would always say hi.
Did he ever reply back to you?
Sure.
Did you ever have conversations or interactions with him in the laundry room like you did with Mr. Maldonado?
Not very often.
Okay. When you did see Mr. Lychwick in passing, was there ever any thought on your part that he wanted to engage in conversation with you?
No.
Did you feel ever in passing with him? And when you got outside, did you go through that back stairwell that we talked about, or did you go through the underground garage or something else?
The back stairwell.
And where did you go from there?
Across the parking lot to where Nathan was standing.
In looking at exhibit number 1, can you see the driveway off of East North? You go to where you said Nathan was. Can you circle for me on exhibit 1 the approximate area in which you saw Nathan?
Nathan.
Intend for the witness to make any further markings on it. Let's capture that with the witness's markings. She saw, if there is additional evidence through another witness, that may be presented as well. But the answer was responsive, so it's overruled. You may continue.
Now, Ms. Rose, I'm going to show you what you previously looked at and what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 3. What does Exhibit 3 show?
Pretty much what I found.
Pretty much what you found, or what you found, or
What I
something
found,
else?
Yeah. Yeah.
One at a time, please. You can just finish your question.
Yes. Exhibit 3, does that show exactly what you found when you walked out of the garage? I'm sorry, the stairwell, or something else?
Something else.
Okay, then what does Exhibit 3 show?
Well, that's not how I saw it at first.
How did you see it then?
It was opened up. Nathan had opened it up to find a body.
Okay. Now, is there, on the opposite side, is that where you saw that it had been opened, or something else?
Possibly, yes. Yeah.
She just saying, yeah, this motherfucker gonna say yeah and on everything. She don't know what the fuck she talking about. That motherfucker say, hey, lady in the front, blink if you need help. She do look like that, bro. She do smoke them cigs, too. You crazy, Mike. It says that road looks like something off GTA. What about this? This is like some Blair Witch shit. Look how the nigga hid him. Look how he hid the body, bro. He thought that was it. They'll never find this. They'll never suspect me. Stupid ass nigga. Real dumb ass.
Okay. Now, when you walked up to it, you said you saw a body. What specifically did you see?
I saw the middle of a body and legs and knees and shoes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm finished with the screen. You indicated that once you were out there and you saw this pile, you saw what looked like a body. Did anyone call police?
Jeff, the owner, did.
Okay. And did you stay with this pile until police arrived?
She blinking crazy.
While you were standing with that pile, did anybody else or any other residents, or did you touch that pile or start taking off those branches?
No.
She is blinking like a hell of a lot.
Now, you indicated you were familiar with a resident named Carlos Maldonado, correct?
Yes.
And with this discovery being on April 30th of 2024, when was the last time you remember seeing Carlos Maldonado?
Do you mean October 30th, 2024? I believe you said April 30th.
And she's shaking her head, yes. She just saying yes to anything. When was the last time you seen him? Yes. Yes. What? Bitch, I asked you a question. This the same shit y'all was talking about earlier, Mike and Mills, remember? This, I asked you something about a that requires a, yes. No. I asked you a specific question that requires a numeric response. Motherfucker, you talking about yes.
On April 30th of 2024, when was the last time you remember seeing Carlos Maldonado?
Yes.
Do you mean October 30th, 2024? I believe you said April 30th.
I'm sorry, October 30th of 2024. When was the last time you saw Carlos Maldonado?
April 14th.
Of 2024?
Correct.
And
April 14th.
since that date then, you had not seen him at all around the property?
Not at all.
Was that unusual?
Yes.
What did you see Mr. Maldonado doing on April 14th?
He was in the garage cutting up some wood.
And then after that date, he just disappeared?
Yes.
Did you ever have any phone contact with him?
I tried.
Did he ever answer?
No.
Was his apartment ever cleared out?
Yes, but not for a while.
Okay. Now, I'll ask a more specific question then. So, from April 14th to October 30th of 2024, had any of Mr. Maldonado's family members come to the apartment building looking for him?
Yes.
Did you allow any of his family members into his apartment?
Yes.
Did you go inside with those family members or did you stay outside?
I went in.
And when you went in with the family members, was the apartment still full of items or was it completely bare?
Full.
Was one of the family members that you allowed into the apartment Talisa Maldonado?
Yes.
Had you been sliding Mr. Maldonado's mail under the door or anything? Or
Yes.
You had been?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was a yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Miss Rose, you indicated that you saw Mr. Maldonado cutting wood the morning of April 14th, correct?
Yes.
Was there a mess of sawdust left behind in that area?
Yes.
Did you clean that up?
Yes.
Do you know about how long after April 14th you realized that pile was still there and you took it upon yourself to clean it up?
A couple weeks.
I do not have any other further questions for this witness. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lychwick, cross-examination.
Yes, please.
I thought they said there was no crosses. He did. Okay, he said yes, please. My bad. Okay, I said I was told this, guys. I reserve the right to be wrong, goddammit. I was misinformed. My bad.
Glenda, you simply could not have found the remains of poor Mr. Carlos at the top of the hill there because he was not found there. He was found at the bottom of the driveway.
Mr. Lychwick, you have to, hang on, everyone. Mr. Lychwick, you have to ask your question, okay? So you can ask her to confirm her statement about where she found the body, but this is not a time to testify about what you think the other facts are. So go ahead and ask your question if you would like.
Where was Mr. Maldonado laying, Glenda?
Halfway down the hill on the right-hand side.
Where was he in relation to the driveway?
Halfway down. Almost to the bottom of the driveway.
Thank you. So he was found almost at the bottom of the driveway, across the wood from the edge of the driveway where it meets the road.
Is that correct?
The entrance of the driveway where it meets the road, Glenda.
It was not close to the road. I mean, not as close to the road as what you're saying. In the middle of the hill, if you halfway down.
But the hill is not to be confused with the hill that is perpendicular to the stairs that you took to get into the driveway when you left your apartment. Is that right?
Right.
So
This nigga acting like the location. Yeah. It's still behind the building. It's still a dead nigga in a blue tarp behind the building under some goddamn twigs. What the fuck do this? Was it 7 feet over more to the left or 7 feet?
we are talking about then at the end of the driveway, that area. Are we not?
No.
This ain't gonna help her look like she's not a credible witness, bro. This ain't gonna help you, bro.
How can that not be? Because the
Because the end
driveway...
of the driveway is here, and the body was up here. The end of the driveway is the end of the driveway. This was the
Please
middle
have
of
the
the hill.
diagram.
Hang on. Okay, finish your answer. Are you finished?
I think so.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, what were you saying?
Can I please have the diagram of the property again?
Sure. Attorney Thompson, can you put up exhibit number 1, please?
Yes, I will.
Who the hell said this nigga ain't run nobody questions? He ain't do no crosses. This a cross right here. And it's a little bit spicy.
Now, Glenda, I want you to take a look, please.
And he keep calling her name, bro. Like, that, to me, that's an intimidation fact. Now, Glenda, come on, Glenda. Tell me where it's at, Glenda. Da-da-da. Like, stop saying my motherfucking name, bitch.
If you look
Go to...
where East North Street begins and the driveway ends, Mr. Maldonado was found not too far up in the area, still at the edge of the driveway. Not too far from the edge of the driveway, I would say. He wasn't found up on the hill that you could see from your window.
Mr. Lychwick, again, I remind you on cross-examination, you need to ask the witness questions, not testify on your own.
I'm asking you, Glenda, was Mr. Maldonado found?
Bro, you about to cook, bro. You are about to... Bro... What's that shit, David? Chicharron. This nigga about to be a chicharron, nigga.
Found more towards the edge of the driveway there than where you could see out of your window at that other hill near the cement stairs that go up the other staircase, the north staircase that is on the other side of our building there, the one that you came down to meet Nathan.
I didn't get the question.
Okay, ask the... Hang on. You can repeat the question. Just try to ask simple questions, Mr. Lychwick. Straightforward questions.
I'm trying, Your Honor. Glenda, Mr. Maldonado was not found within eyesight of your apartment window. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, if we go back down to the end of the driveway, he was found closer to that area than he was to the top of the hill that you can see from your apartment window. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions of this witness.
Thank you. Any redirect?
No.
Get this nigga out of here. Mel says, somebody go for a bike ride. I'll catch y'all in a few. Do your thing. X said, carry your stupid ass to prison. Facts. What's wrong with bro? This nigga's about to get fried, boy. This... You talking about putting yourself in the hot seat, bro. You didn't want no help. I can cook. Damn, look at that nose. Look at that nose. Look. Bow. 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 Damn. That motherfucker like this here. Strong nose ass. Like this here. Dean the Great nose ass. Dean. Oh,
Position yourself nice and close to that microphone there, and when you are ready, start by stating your name, spelling your first and last for the record.
Detective Jessica Barrent.
Nose.
And how long have you been employed with the City of Waukesha Police
That motherfucker say Putin with a wig. Damn, exit.
Department?
Over 19 years.
Putin
And
looking
do you
nice.
have a particular area or type of crime that you investigate?
I'm considered a general crimes detective, and I specialize with frauds, domestics, stalkings, death investigations, things like that.
Have you ever assisted on a death investigation?
Yes. Yes.
And that would be 9:48 p.m.
Yes.
What are the purchases made at the Walmart in Pewaukee on that date and time?
So there's some just regular purchases like toilet paper, vitamin D, but the thing that was a concern to me was the large latex gloves.
On April 28th, 2024, is there a separate Walmart receipt for a Waukesha location?
Yeah, so this was the purchase that I was talking to, 2 different Walmart locations within the same date and a very close time frame. This one's at 20.
X said, I can't unsee it now, bro. I can't unsee.
33 hours.
Which is at 10:33 p.m.?
Yes.
And what purchases were made at the Walmart in Waukesha at that time?
The item of concern on here is the trash bags.
Okay. Can you describe for me how many gallons were those trash bags?
It doesn't say on here, but Walmart has a way you can look up receipts and then subsequently look at the exact visual items that were purchased. And so I looked that up, and I believe they were 30 gallon. They were large bags.
Now, is there a receipt there from April 29th of 2024 at the Walmart in Pewaukee?
Yes.
And is that timed at 1912?
Waukesha and Pewaukee.
Yes.
Is that 7:12 p.m.?
Yes, it is.
What items are purchased on that date and time?
Size medium and size large gloves, as well as some regular household items, it looks like.
In looking at a Dollar Tree receipt from May 7th of 2024 from the 120 East Sunset Drive location in Waukesha, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and is the time of that transaction 1812?
Yes.
Is that 6:12 p.m.?
Yes, it is.
What was purchased at
I got 612s.
that time?
64 ounces of bleach.
On May 13th of 2024, is there a Woodman's receipt that you recovered?
So I made a mistake in my report. It is not May 13th. This one is June 13th. I mistyped it in the report.
Okay. Is it from Woodman's?
It is. It's the same time, 6:53 p.m.
Okay, that was my next question. Did it say 1853, but you said that's 6:53 p.m.?
Yes.
And what was purchased at that time?
So Woodman's, one of the issues that I had with the financials of Lychwick, if you don't mind me backing up for a second, his May bank statement was not included. It was just a printout that he had of some things, and I could see that he went to Woodman's several times. So I asked Woodman's to provide copies of the receipts from the store. So that's why these receipts are a bit different. And he did purchase quite a few regular household items, food, things like that. The items of concern for me on this receipt is 3 separate purchases of iodized salt. It's 26 ounces each, so 78 ounces of salt, which is it's just shy of 5 pounds of salt, which I felt was excessive for an individual who lives alone. A 70-ounce bottle of blue dish soap and a 30-ounce bottle of white tea antibacterial soap. And the rest, like I said, is just regular.
None of that sound weird unless you know somebody killed somebody. Right? None of that, to me, none of that sounds weird unless you know somebody took a life. Like if you do, let's say you do contract cleaning, you always buying large ass bags. You always buying, large amounts of cleaning supply liquid at a time. That doesn't sound suspicious. Or maybe you're a person who replenishes everything at once. You buy in bulk. Like she was like 30 gallons of cleaning liquid. That's not suspicious. I don't know why the fuck bro needs so much salt. That might raise it. But then I also see, okay, he's trying to get everything to get rid of the body piece by piece and hide it amongst other things instead of buying it all at once, which to him would look suspicious. But fool, buying it all at once don't look suspicious. What about people that move in? When people move in somewhere new or anything, I don't know. Anyway, his dumb ass allegedly a killer, so this his dumb ass, not mine.
Household items or groceries.
Was there a purchase you noted on May 16th of 2024 at Woodman's at a transaction time of 10:10?
Yes.
And
it's 10:10. Where you been?
What, if anything, caught your attention on that particular purchase?
Tide Hygienic Clean Free Liquid, 146 ounces, which I thought was a lot for one person. Hefty multi-purpose strong trash bags, 56 count. Simply Done heavy duty scouring pads, 3 count. And 2 pounds total of Food Club baking soda.
On the last one I'm looking at here.
All right. Now it sounds like you're trying to clean up a big ass stain. Didn't you just buy some garbage bags? Why you need to buy some more industrial strength? Yeah, nigga. All right.
On May 16th of 2024, was there a Walmart receipt from the Waukesha location for a
Man, that's Waukesha. I don't give a fuck what they say. Waukesha. Waukesha. That's Waukesha.
transaction time of 12:58 p.m.?
Yes, there is.
And what was purchased then?
Some Waukesha?
30-gallon trash bags.
Some more goddamn trash bags? Damn, nigga. All right. You ain't cleaning up that much. Dog, this shit, I'm not listening to the dates. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't even listening to the dates. I'ma just make an assumption that them bitches was back to back a few days apart, nigga. Why you need that many goddamn garbage bags that close to each other? Come on, motherfucker.
In reviewing the totality of the either receipts or other financial records from Mr. Lychwick's apartment, did you notice any change in the pattern of purchases as it specifically relates to garbage bags on or about the time that Mr. Maldonado was killed and after?
Yes, so according to the bank statements and receipts and things that I looked over, there seemed to be an excessive amount of purchases regarding cleaning supplies and trash bags and things like that in April, May, and June.
With these trash bags, were you able to note whether they were clear or white or black?
Heavy duty gonna be black.
A lot of them were black.
30 gallon gonna be black.
I'm skipping ahead a little bit as the jurors will hear from other witnesses kind of in between, but did there come a time where Mr. Lychwick was arrested?
Yes.
Okay,
And-
Attorney Thompson, I'm going to stop here in the interest of time. I don't want to stop mid-witness, but we've been going all day here. So it's 4:45, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to take a break for the evening at this point. Unless, Attorney Thompson, you were on the verge of finishing.
This was my last topic.
Okay. Then let's continue. We'll go just a few more minutes. I'll certainly allow Mr. Lychwick a chance to cross-examine.
And then that's essentially sent to the crime lab through our specialists.
Mr. Lychwick?
Yes, I do have objections to that, Your Honor.
Okay, what is your objection?
Those are general receipts from my everyday life. They have nothing to do with the murder of this poor man.
Okay, so your objection is relevance?
Relevance.
All right. I think based upon the testimony of the witness, I'll overrule that objection. The state can draw inferences from the evidence. You can draw inferences from the evidence. But on a relevance ground, I'm overruling that objection. So Exhibit 140 will come into evidence. Do you have cross-examination, Mr. Lychwick?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead.
Detective Barron, is it against the law for a man to dye his hair?
No.
So why are you making an issue out of the fact that during a traffic stop earlier in the year of 2024, my hair was gray, I hadn't had a chance to dye it. And then when I met you during your investigation of this poor man's death, my hair was jet black because my girlfriend liked my hair black. Why was that an issue with you?
Mr. Lychwick, the witness was answering a question posed by the state's attorney. The question was asked, the witness answered. That's the reason for that answer. So you can ask another question.
Your Honor, she also made an issue out of it in her police report.
Okay, well,
this nigga is cooked,
ask your
dog.
next question, Mr. Lychwick.
So then, you seem to indicate that I'm buying a lot of certain materials, but yet you find that suspicious because I live alone. You don't know what I'm doing all of my time, and if I'm alone or not. I have a love life as well, Detective. And you're well aware of that too, because we discussed my girlfriend at one point. So why you're leading the jury on to believe that I'm living alone and buying pounds of salt that I don't need and things like this? It's just an exaggeration, which is quite a habit with you and Detective Stern during this investigation into my private life and trying to link me to this crime.
All right, Mr. Lychwick, you have to ask questions. You cannot testify, and you can't editorialize either. So if you have a question for this witness, now is your time to ask it.
Why would you think, why would you assume that I'm living alone, and, why would you insinuate that I'm buying all these materials for my private life and that they have something to do with something they do not, the death of this poor man?
Can you restate that question? I didn't understand what you're asking in that. It was a little long-winded.
How can you come to the conclusion that I'm living alone all the time when you don't personally know me? And how can you make assumptions as to what...
This is court, nigga. This nigga. It sound like he talking to somebody online or some shit. Nigga, this your life.
How can you come to the conclusion that I'm living alone all the time when you don't personally know me? And how can you make assumptions as to what I'm buying is in association with my private life?
Okay, so to answer your question about how can I assume that you live alone, you told me. And I am just making observations based on the receipts and purchases that coincide with some of the items that we located on Carlos Maldonado's body.
But Detective, I told you I don't live alone all the time. I had at that time a love life, and I was seeing somebody else as I was breaking off my relationship with the woman we discussed. I was already starting another relationship with another woman. I was not all the time living alone.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, I'm going to instruct the jury to disregard any potential testimony of Mr. Lychwick at this time. Mr. Lychwick, you have to ask a question. You cannot testify at this time. So ask a question, make a statement in the form of a question for this witness to answer.
How could you come to the conclusion that I'm living alone all the time when you don't know me personally and you're not there all the time to see what I'm doing, Detective?
Like I stated before, you told me that you were living alone and that your girlfriend lived out of state. She did not live with you. There was nothing in the residence to indicate anybody, let alone a female, was living inside the residence.
Okay, Detective, but how do you know how much time we spent together?
I do not.
That's correct. My personal habits and what I buy, I mean, there again, you don't know me personally, do you?
No.
So how could you assume that whatever I'm buying is out of character, out of order for somebody to buy, particularly what I bought.
Can you restate the question?
Sure.
How can I assume?
How could you attach such significance as to connect what my personal habits are and my personal tastes are with your investigation?
Ain't that what detectives do?
Because about 4.875 pounds of salt for a man that lives alone seemed excessive to me, especially when during the course of the search warrant we did not find an excessive amount of salt. These are just observations I made that may or may not be connected to this case.
They're just observations that you made.
Correct.
I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Okay, thank you. Any redirect?
No.
This nigga thought he might drop, then he killed some shit. Nigga said, those are just observations you made. Correct. I have no further witness, no questions for the witness at this time. Bitch, you ain't just cook. Nigga, you ain't just pick up and kill it. Nigga, boy, you making it worse. That's about to be your ass, bro. What the fuck? This nigga thought he just, that's about to be your ass. Nigga.
Johnson versus Kevin Lychwick, 24 CF 1881. Appearances, please.
The state appears by Chelsea Thompson and Dan Tombasco. Also at counsel table is Detective Ben Stern. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Lychwick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, nothing, Your Honor.
Come on, bro. Good morning, nothing, Your Honor. This was yesterday. Yes, he's representing himself. Gio going with that bullshit to my mic drop. He cooking rumor. No, nigga. XAS says so he's representing himself. Yes, bro. He is cooking himself. Watch this nigga. This was yesterday morning. Watch.
Good morning. Mr. Lychwick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, nothing, Your Honor. I'm not well. I need to lay down.
Okay.
Good morning, nothing, Your Honor. What? My nigga said bruh. Good morning, Mr. Lychwick. Man, fuck your good morning, nigga. I need to go lay down, cuz my back hurt. You heard this, bruh? And this is not he did it again this morning, today. This was yesterday, and he spazzed again today, this morning. Watch, y'all, watch. I'm gonna show y'all before we get out of here. Watch, dog. This nigga crazy, bro.
Also at counsel table is Detective Ben Stern. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Lychwick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, nothing, Your Honor. I'm not well. I need to lay down.
Okay.
I protest these proceedings. I'm being railroaded. I am not prepared to...
You say I'm being railroaded. I thought only we said that. No. Oh, Gio, I ain't there. Hey, give me a poll question, Gio. Somebody give me a poll question. Somebody give me a poll question for this crazy motherfucker. Yo. Good morning, nothing, fuck ass honor. You son of a bitch, everything hurts and I shouldn't be here. Y'all trying to railroad a real one.
Good morning. Mr. Lychwick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, nothing, Your Honor. I'm not well. I need to lay down.
Okay.
I protest these proceedings. I'm being railroaded. I am not prepared to defend myself in this matter.
Mr. Lychwick, we'll get to that in just one moment.
Dawg, I want to soundbite that, dawg. Oh my God.
Prepared to defend myself in this matter.
Mr. Lychwick, we'll get to that in just one moment.
You have hamstringed me every attempt I've made to defend myself. You've denied me my rights.
Nigga said you hamstringed me? Bruh. Hold on, let me make the poll real quick. Damn, I don't think this is a death penalty case. If it was, I'm gonna say yeah. I gotta look up if it's a death penalty case, bro. I gotta look that one up. Hold on, I'm about to make that poll, Mike. I'm running it back just so I got enough time to type and make the poll. I probably won't be done by then, but at least, yeah, let's go.
The state of Wisconsin versus Kevin Lychwick, 24 CF 1881. Appearances, please.
The state appears by Chelsea Thompson and Dan Tombasco. Also at council table is Detective Ben Stern. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Lychwick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, nothing, Your Honor. I'm not well, I need to lay down.
Okay.
I protest these proceedings, I'm being railroaded. I am not prepared to defend myself in this manner.
Mr. Lychwick, we'll get to that in just one moment. Attorney
You have
Thompson.
hamstringed me every attempt I've made to defend myself. You've denied me my rights of the disposal of tampered evidence and the dismissal of this case. It should never have come this far.
Mr. Lychwick.
I am not feeling well today.
Mr. Lychwick,
You have dragged me here and brutalized me. Look at this. Look what they did to me. Offered no resistance. They dragged me out of my bed. I question your rationality, sir.
Mr. Lychwick, I will let you be heard, but I want to warn you first that if you are speaking out of turn or speaking disruptively or yelling or otherwise causing a disturbance, I may have to remove you from the courtroom. I will let you be heard. I'll let you make a record. Now is not the time to do that, though, okay? Attorney Thompson, is the state in victim rights compliance?
Yes, we are.
All right, we're here for day 2 of the trial. It's now 9:10 a.m. We were scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. We got off to a little bit of a late start. Earlier, the court was advised by my deputies that Mr. Lychwick was still remaining in his cell. He was not dressed, and he was refusing to come to court. I had my deputies check with the jail staff to see whether Mr. Lychwick needed more time, whether he was going to voluntarily come up to court, or what the situation was. So we gave Mr. Lychwick about another 35 minutes or so while we explored some other options of how he could be produced for this trial if necessary. So, Mr. Lychwick, what would you like to say about your condition today and your ability to proceed to trial?
Man, fuck
Well, thank you for letting me finally speak, Your Honor. Again, I reiterate what I first said when I entered here. I am not well today. I need to lay down and rest.
Why is that?
That is the utmost, that is the primary topic right now.
Why do you feel that you need to lay down and rest?
Because I'm sick. For one thing, I have a tear in my belly that needs to be repaired. And I refuse to take responsibility for the delays in the length of these proceedings because I needed medical attention. And you're saying I put it off. I did not. I did not receive the proper consultation. I wasn't even allowed to consult with another doctor before I had the last procedure done that I needed. And I have not received all the surgeries that I need. I again reiterate, I have a tear in my belly. That might be part of the cause. I am exhausted. How would you like to sleep for 18 months, Your Honor, a concrete slab, being starved, tortured with lights on you, 24 hours a day, guards harassing you when you're on the toilet, can't even shower in peace or sleep in peace? I can't take this anymore.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, you've made your record previously when the court has heard your concerns about your medical condition. We've
Hold on, wait a minute.
taken testimony previously from the jail administrator. We've heard evidence from your treating physician. And the court has already made rulings about your condition leading up to the case, the previous delays in the case, and the readiness for trial this week. So that matter has already been settled. What I'm concerned about is your present condition today and why you think you have an inability to continue today, this morning.
You're being harassing, Your Honor. I just told you, you're making me repeat myself. That's harassing. I reiterate, I am exhausted and I am not well and I'm nauseous. I have a rip in my belly. What more do you want me to say, Your Honor?
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. For somebody with a tear in their midsection, you're able to scream pretty damn well. You're able to vocalize yourself pretty well.
I don't mean to raise my voice. I am exasperated. I feel that I am not speaking to somebody who's rational at this point. I don't think you can, you're hearing what you want to hear. So at this point, you know, you're trying to make a fool out of me on top of it. I refuse to be part of this. You're railroading me, I say again. My constitutional rights and my 8th Amendment rights, for one, under the Constitution, are being violated. My human rights.
Mr. Lychwick, I'm going to give you a few different, I understand. I'm going to give you a few different options. I'll let you know, though, that every one of those options leads to the same conclusion and endpoint, which is that the trial is going to continue today and will continue this week. So here are the options that I'm going to present to you. Number one, we can give you a little bit more time this morning to compose yourself, to do what you need to do, to get dressed into your suit that you were in yesterday, because I'll make a record that today you are in the jail orange and we produced you in a wheelchair. You've been handcuffed for the safety of everyone because we don't know what condition you're in or what your attitude was going to be. So I can give you more time to compose yourself, to get ready for trial this morning, maybe until about 10 a.m. That's another 45 minutes. You can freshen up. You can get dressed into your street clothes and resume the trial in the chair at counsel table with your legs secured to the floor like you were yesterday. So there's no outward sign that you're in custody. That's option number one. Option number two, if you're not going to refuse, or if you're going to refuse option number one, is we can keep you in the courtroom as you are now. You're going to be obviously in jail orange. You're obviously going to be in a wheelchair, and we can, I'll defer to my deputies, but we can likely make arrangements for just the leg shackle to be used. But then you are going to be viewed as in custody by the jury. We can give them a cautionary instruction to make sure that that's not used against you in any way. But again, as I said yesterday, efforts were undertaken to make sure the jury was aware that you are, or not aware that you are in custody. So that would certainly change today. That's option number two. Option number three is if you are going to be disruptive in court today, I may have you produced in one of the holding cells in the bullpen here. It's a white room. It doesn't have any outward signs, at least while it's displayed on video, that you would be in custody. I would give you the option to be in that room dressed in civilian clothing, or you could appear in your jail orange there. You would have all your materials there. We could still make arrangements for you to have access to standby counsel. If you want standby counsel to consult with you on anything, we could put you in a breakout room over video for that. And then you would participate in this trial by video. So you would be displayed on the video screens. The jury would see you.
Said that's what I was looking for. I'm like, bro, I think he trying to get that mental excuse. Mel says y'all had me weak on when I'm riding on the bike. Don't restart this again.
On their screens, we would see and hear you. You could still.
He's going for the insanity phase. Yeah, bro. X said that's what I was thinking. Gio says, "Sir, relax, or you will be held under contempt."
Make objections. You could still interject.
Right for the video says, "How is he defending himself?" And then says, "I'm not ready for this case."
You could still cross-examine witnesses just like you would if you were in the courtroom. That's option number three. Option number four is the most drastic option, really, Mr. Lychwick, and that is that if you refuse to participate and conduct yourself accordingly, I may have to have you removed from the courtroom and just not produced at all for your trial, in which case there is a way that the court could make findings that the trial would have to proceed with you in absentia. The reason why that is a very drastic remedy here and a drastic option, Mr. Lychwick, is because you are representing yourself. And you would not have the benefit of an attorney continuing to represent your interests at trial if you are not here in person. You have standby counsel. I likely would not have Attorney Galaviz suddenly become your advocate counsel and advocate for you because you specifically wanted Attorney Galaviz to withdraw. You wanted to represent yourself. I took the colloquy of your waiver. I find that you are still competent to represent yourself. You asked good questions yesterday. You raised objections yesterday. You gave an opening statement. You're clearly qualified and competent to represent yourself. So I would not have Attorney Galaviz step in and represent your interests.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that psych ward shit. I don't know now.
Which means that there just would be no presence by the defense. I don't want to exercise that option. That would be only in the event that you're unable to comport yourself and abide by my rules. And
People of Waukesha County, this is not rational. You haven't listened to a word I said, Your Honor. With all due respect to the court and the people of Waukesha County, I am not up to being here today. I need to lay down and rest. I am not well. That's all I can say. I've said it before. I've said it twice since I came in here. I've told your deputies and the jail staff at least 4 times on the way up here. And the fact that they were hurting me. So I'm not being heard. You're refusing to listen to me. What more can I do?
Mr. Lychwick, I'll ask you again. Do you want time this morning to get into civilian clothes, to freshen up, to meaningfully participate in your case this morning in court like you were yesterday? Are you going to answer?
I've tried to answer. You won't listen to me.
Okay. Well, Mr. Lychwick, the trial is going to proceed whether or not you are actively participating or whether you're protesting or refusing to participate. So now the question is, do we have you stay there in your wheelchair, secure, in jail clothes, so that at least you're in the courtroom and can choose to participate when and if you feel like participating? Do you want to remain in the courtroom, or would you rather be in the holding cell by video?
This is not rational. I've answered your question already 3 times. I don't know what else to say. I need to lay down, Your Honor. I need to go back to my cell and lay down. That's all I can tell you. When I feel better, I'll let you know. That's all. That's the final word here. I don't know what else to do.
Well, that's why I'm offering, Mr.
This man think he run the shit. When I feel better, I'll let you know when I'm ready to go to trial, nigga. Until then, let me go lay down, eat, relax, play some spades, make a few phone calls, jack my meat, make a fifi, eat some what you call them shits? What they say? Zoom zooms and wham whams, and make burritos and shit. And I'll let you know. I'll get at you. I'm chilling right now.
Mr. Lychwick, to delay this a little bit more this morning, to give you an opportunity to freshen up, to do what you need to do and get into civilian clothes.
Your deputies dropped it all and taken out.
What you do is have the jail staff produce your trial materials.
No,
your glasses.
I do not want that taken out of my cell, Your Honor. Please, no. I am not up to looking at it. I need to lay down. It's going to get lost and disheveled like yesterday. Your deputies dropped it all over the floor. It took me hours to put it back together again.
Mr. Lychwick, either they gather your materials and bring them up to you, or we're proceeding without your materials in front of you.
I don't want them brought up here. And I'm telling you again, Your Honor, I am not up to being here right now. I need to lay down.
Mr. Lychwick, yesterday I saw you taking a lot of notes during trial. You were taking notes after hearing certain answers. You were taking notes when the court was talking to you and citing some cases. So I know that you've been taking notes during the trial. I want you to have those notes. I want you to have your materials that you prepared.
I won't. Your Honor, I won't be able to use them. I don't know what to tell you. I am not well. I don't need that. If you bring them here, they're going to get lost and spilled all over the floor again and manhandled. Just leave them alone, Your Honor. When I feel better, I will. I'm repeating myself again. You're making a fool out of me, Your Honor. I will let you know when I'm feeling well. That's all I can tell you.
Mr. Lychwick, then I am going to bring the jury in, and we're going to resume this trial. I'll give you one more opportunity to have about a 45-minute recess, get yourself into street clothes, get your materials.
I'm telling you, Your Honor, I am not ready. I am not well. I don't know what else to tell you.
Your current restraints. On that note, deputies, with courtroom security in mind, can Mr. Lychwick be secured just with the ankle harness?
We can do that. Remove everyone first.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's an option. All right. So Mr. Lychwick will make sure that your hands are free and that you are secured by the ankle restraint, but you will still be in jail clothes. I'll tell the jury that they are not to consider anything about your appearance today and infer anything from that and not hold that against you. And we'll proceed with the trial.
Is the judge being fair? Is this judge fair? Is he patient, man? Jesus.
Mr. Lychwick?
This can't be the
Mr. Lychwick is present in court today in custody. Mr. Lychwick, like yesterday, is dressed in jail orange and he is in a wheelchair. Deputies, Mr. Lychwick.
Like yesterday, you heard him? Like yesterday.
Lychwick is secured at the ankle, but his hands are free? Yes. Okay, they indicate that's correct. I understand that Mr. Lychwick has requested that same green jacket be brought up, and my bailiffs have contacted the jail staff to get that brought up. So we won't bring the jury in until that's transported up here and Mr. Lychwick has that on.
That was yesterday. This was this morning. This happened this morning, what we're watching now.
Attorney Thompson, is the state still in victim rights compliance for today?
Yes, we are.
Anything the state wants addressed before we bring the jury in today?
No, thank you.
Mr. Lychwick, because you are dressed again in jail orange, do you want me to give that same instruction to the jury about how they should disregard the fact that you are in jail clothing? Mr. Lychwick continues to ignore the court. I'll make a record that after we were concluded for the day yesterday, Mr. Lychwick had an opportunity to consult with his standby counsel, Attorney Galaviz, in the courtroom while other people were present. Mr. Lychwick engaged with Attorney Galaviz in a very animated manner. He was conversational with Attorney Galaviz, and he was conversational with the bailiffs as well. I note this morning, too, before we called the case on the record, Mr. Lychwick was in an animated discussion with his standby counsel. He was proactive in requesting the jacket be brought up from the jail to the deputies. So again, the court sees no apparent sign of distress in Mr. Lychwick. He's attentive now. He is looking straight down at the table, and he is simply ignoring the court, which is fine, but I just wanted to continue to make that record. Anything else, Mr. Lychwick, that you want on the record before we bring the jury in? Again, Mr. Lychwick.
I protest these proceedings. This is a travesty of justice. I am innocent of these charges. I have no way to defend myself. I demand that these proceedings be stopped so I can arrange for my defense and arrange for a different judge presiding my case if it's going to come to trial. This should never have come to trial. The evidence against me is tainted. This case should have been thrown out 8 months ago.
Those objections are noted. There are continuing objections that Mr. Lychwick has raised, with the exception of the request for... No, I'm ruling.
I am sick. I am not capable of sitting here all day again. I am not well. I have a tear in my stomach.
What if bruh innocent? What if he innocent? It's innocent until proven guilty, right? What if he's innocent?
I am sick. I am not capable of sitting here all day again. I am not well. I have a tear in my stomach.
The court notes the objections and the protest raised by Mr. Lychwick. The only new one is the request for a new judge, which isn't going to happen at this stage of the proceeding. It is untimely. So with that, we will bring the jury in once the jacket arrives for Mr. Lychwick. We'll stand in recess until then.
Forensic and pediatric pathology.
Can you?
But every 2 years I have to do at least 100 hours of continuing medical education in my course of study, which would be pathology, specifically forensic and pediatric.
He is simply ignoring the court. Mr. Lychwick.
I protest.
That's where we at, bro. That's where we at. Listen, shout out to y'all. We watching the game tonight. We having a game gathering on the Discord. If y'all want to watch the game, gather up, be communal while the game on, what I'm talking about? Fall through in the Discord, in the sports voice chat section of the Discord. Man, y'all already know what time it is. Other than that, we about to get up out of here. Shout out to the nation, man. I appreciate y'all. Geo Roman, X said, Mike from the Ville, XO Mills, Miss Duval was in here. Hold on, who else? Savage Glizzy, for sure. That's all we had in the comments for tonight. But that's good. We did it. Hunters on hunters, we did. Ooh-wee. Shout out to y'all, man, but I got to go get some food, a little bit of rest and relaxation and shit, gather myself, decompress, and I only got like 2 hours to do it because it's game time right after that, you know what I'm talking about? So shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Shit, this the short channel, you know what I'm talking about? So we just going to keep this one short and sweet. We going to get up out of here, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. We on to the next one. Hey, man, whoever fall through for the game, I'll see y'all later on tonight. If not, I'll catch y'all in the morning. Y'all already know what time it is, man. RUMORNATI NETWORK. We out of this motherfucker. Yo. After I tell y'all how aggravating y'all is.
So, aggravating as hell, man.
Yo.